know what it feels like to carry a fire within you that the world cannot contain? Do you understand the trembling power that surges through the life of someone dangerously anointed by God? Many walk through this world, unaware of the divine force flowing through them. They live ordinary lives surrounded by mediocrity, blind to the supernatural authority placed inside them. But tonight, I tell you, if you are hearing this message, if these words are striking something within your spirit, God is awakening something in you that is too powerful to be ignored. You are not ordinary. You are not here to blend in. You are dangerously anointed, and the time has come for your purpose to rise in unstoppable force. There are signs, unmistakable signs, that God has marked you for greatness far beyond human comprehension. First, you will notice that your life will attract opposition like a magnet attracts metal. This is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of destiny. When God places a dangerous anointing upon someone, the spiritual atmosphere around them shifts. People will misunderstand you, envy you, fear you, and even plot against you. But know this, opposition is the stamp of divine approval. It is proof that God is moving through your life in a way that shakes kingdoms, dismantles lies, and rearranges destinies. If you are experiencing resistance that seems unbearable, take it as confirmation that your anointing is real and that God is preparing you for a level of impact few can withstand. Another sign is an unrelenting sense of purpose that cannot be ignored. While the world wanders aimlessly, your soul burns with clarity. You wake up with ideas, visions, and an urgency that cannot be tamed. You are not satisfied with small achievements, empty routines, or temporary victories. God has wired you with a relentless hunger for influence, for transformation, and for divine assignment. This is the hallmark of a dangerous anointing. When God calls a person to power, He places within them an unshakable sense of mission, a constant whisper in their spirit that refuses compromise. You may try to sleep, to rest, to pretend to be ordinary, but that voice will not let you remain in silence. That voice is God, calling you to rise, to shine, and to move with the authority He has given you. Your presence will begin to affect the atmosphere. Dangerous anointing is not silent, it moves like a wave. People around you will feel your authority without understanding its source. Your words will carry weight, your actions will draw attention, and even your silence will command respect. When you walk into a room, something shifts. The ordinary becomes extraordinary, and mediocrity begins to tremble. This is not arrogance, it is divine authority manifesting through you. God equips the dangerously anointed to change situations, to influence decisions, and to alter the trajectory of lives simply by existing in alignment with Him. If you notice that people are inexplicably drawn to you, or that your presence creates peace or provokes action, it is because God's anointing cannot be hidden. It is alive within you, moving through every fiber of your being. You will also experience moments where ordinary solutions fail, yet God provides supernatural breakthroughs. The dangerously anointed do not rely on human wisdom or conventional methods. When faced with obstacles, doors that should remain closed will swing open. Chains that should hold will break, and miracles will occur that defy explanation. Your life will be a living testimony of God's power, demonstrating that no circumstance is too great, no challenge too insurmountable, and no enemy too strong. This is the anointing of the divine. It makes you unstoppable. It positions you where others fail. equips you where others lack, and sustains you when the world says you should collapse. If you are experiencing moments where only God could have provided the outcome, you are witnessing the dangerous anointing working through you. Another undeniable sign is that your spiritual sensitivity intensifies. The dangerously anointed do not merely walk in faith, they walk in revelation. You begin to discern motives, detect deception, and sense spiritual shifts before they manifest. People will appear in your life with hidden agendas. Situations will present themselves cloaked in deception, yet your spirit will pierce through the darkness. This heightened awareness is not for pride, it is for preparation. God is equipping you to navigate the unseen, to confront the spiritual realm with authority, and to lead others with divine insight. If you notice that you are more aware of spiritual realities than those around you, that you can sense what is not being spoken, it is God sharpening you, making you a vessel that the enemy cannot easily manipulate. You will also find that your prayers and declarations carry unusual power. Words are not just sounds, they are weapons. For the dangerously anointed, God grants authority to speak life, to dismantle darkness, and to command circumstances into alignment with His will. When you pray, the heavens respond. When you decree, the impossible bends. This is not a promise for the faint-hearted. It is a call to responsibility. Dangerous anointing comes with accountability. God does not give power to be wasted, to be whispered in fear, or to be mocked in weakness. It is given to transform, to heal, to deliver, and to bring His kingdom into manifestation through your obedience. If your words carry weight that shifts reality, you are in the presence of a dangerous anointing. Your vision will also grow beyond what anyone around you can comprehend. You will dream in dimensions that others cannot even perceive. God implants in you a vision so vast, so audacious, that it defies logic and demands faith. The world will not understand why you pursue it, and many will try to discourage you. But dangerous anointing is not bound by human comprehension. God places vision in your heart that will take you to mountains, across rivers, and through storms that ordinary people cannot survive. If you are dreaming bigger than your resources, seeing farther than your circumstances, and believing beyond human logic, it is because God is training you for impact, for dominion, and for eternal significance. Another sign is an unquenchable resilience in the face of adversity. The dangerously anointed are not immune to pain, trials, or disappointment, but they are equipped with supernatural endurance. When the world expects them to crumble, they rise. When every human effort fails, their faith does not. When betrayal stings and doors close, they press forward with unwavering trust in God. This is the hallmark of divine empowerment. God does not anoint the fragile or the fearful for dangerous work. He anoints those whose spirits are forged in the fire of perseverance, whose hearts are anchored in His promises, and whose eyes are fixed on His unseen hand guiding every step. You will also find that your influence spreads unexpectedly. God positions the dangerously anointed in strategic places to touch lives, shape decisions, and create legacies. People you do not know in places you have never been will feel the ripple of your obedience. Your life becomes a conduit for God's plans, and your actions, no matter how small, begin to alter destinies. The anointing is contagious, yet it demands humility. It is not given for personal gain, pride, or recognition. It is given to manifest God's will. If your impact reaches further than your intentions and your presence changes the lives of strangers, it is proof that God is moving powerfully through you and you are dangerously anointed. Finally, the most profound sign of all is the deep, unshakable intimacy with God that defies explanation. Dangerous anointing is never just about power. It is about alignment. It is about a soul so connected to God that nothing in this world can separate it from His will. It is the quiet moments of worship, the unwavering faith in prayer, and the unrelenting pursuit of righteousness that mark the true vessel. If you sense that God is speaking to you in ways others do not hear, that His presence is unmistakably tangible, and that your life resonates with His purpose, it is the clearest sign of all. You are dangerously anointed, and the world is about to see the results of His power manifest in ways they cannot ignore. Understand this: dangerous anointing is not a gift to be taken lightly. It is a weapon, a tool, and a force that can shake nations, topple strongholds, and bring about transformation wherever it moves. It demands obedience, courage, and an unwavering commitment to God alone. The signs are clear. You feel the fire, you hear the call, you see the vision, you endure the opposition, you sense the spiritual reality, you wield authority, you touch lives. You are here for a purpose far beyond ordinary comprehension. The question is not whether God has anointed you. He has. But whether you are ready to step into the fullness of that dangerous, unstoppable, divine calling. The dangerously anointed walk a path few dare to tread. The fire within them is not meant to warm the ordinary. It is meant to ignite transformation, to consume mediocrity, and to illuminate the darkness. God does not place this level of power lightly. It is a calling that shakes the very foundations of the natural and spiritual worlds. If you feel an unexplainable pull toward a higher purpose, if your soul aches to do more than survive, to conquer, to influence, to bring light into dark places, it is because God is stirring something profound inside of you. He is shaping a force so intense, so precise, that every step you take carries eternal weight. Every decision, every word, every breath becomes a weapon of divine authority when wielded in alignment with His will. You will notice that people often underestimate you. They see your humility, your patience, your quiet moments, and they mistake it for weakness. But dangerous anointing operates silently, deliberately, and with calculated precision. The enemy and the doubters alike will scoff, thinking they can contain you. But God's anointing is a storm that no human hand can tame. You are like a river hidden in the mountains, gathering unstoppable momentum before crashing into the valleys below. Those who mock or challenge you are only setting the stage for God to demonstrate the undeniable power flowing through your life. Your apparent calm is not ordinary restraint. It is the preparation of God's force before it manifests in full display. You may also discover that your intuition becomes almost prophetic. Decisions that once required months of analysis are now made with clarity and precision. You sense the alignment of situations and people. You perceive opportunities before they arise, and your spirit discerns truths hidden from ordinary eyes. This is the dangerously anointed mind in motion, operating in harmony with God's intelligence. He equips you to see what others cannot see, to act when others hesitate, and to speak with authority that commands results. When God moves through your intuition, you will find doors opening that should have been shut, paths forming where none existed, and answers arriving with supernatural timing. Trust this discernment. It is God speaking through you. a sign that you are carrying power that will change the course of your life and the lives of countless others. Your life will begin to inspire devotion and loyalty in ways that cannot be forced. People are drawn to you because God has infused you with a spiritual magnetism. It is not manipulation, it is a reflection of His presence in you. When others see you endure hardship and remain unwavering, when they witness your unshakable faith in impossible circumstances, they cannot help but be drawn to the power you carry. This is one of the most subtle yet profound markers of a dangerous anointing, influence that extends far beyond your control, inspiring courage, obedience, and hope in the hearts of those around you. If you notice people following your lead without question, if they look to you for guidance and strength, it is because God has placed you in a position of spiritual authority that is both irresistible and unstoppable. The dangerously anointed are also marked by an insatiable hunger for righteousness. They do not settle for compromise or half-hearted measures. Their hearts are continually refined by God's standards, and their lives become living testimonies of divine power in action. Sin, deception, and spiritual distraction do not linger near them without resistance. God equips them with moral discernment and spiritual fortitude, ensuring that their influence is not tainted and their purpose remains unbroken. You may feel a growing intolerance for anything that opposes God's plan for your life. Relationships, habits, or environments that hinder your rise are repelled from your path. This is not pride, it is the natural effect of dangerous anointing in alignment with divine authority. You will also notice that timing becomes an invisible ally. The dangerously anointed are never early and they are never late. God moves them with precision. Doors will open at the exact moment they need to open. People will arrive at the exact hour they are required, and solutions will manifest with supernatural timing. The universe seems to bend in response to their obedience because God is orchestrating every detail. There is a rhythm to your life now, a divine cadence that ensures nothing is wasted and everything fulfills its purpose. If you experience moments where circumstances align perfectly beyond human explanation, it is God affirming that you are walking in dangerous anointing, His power manifesting through divine order. Another unmistakable sign is the sudden acceleration of your growth and capacity. God does not anoint someone for a season of small beginnings. He equips them to expand rapidly, to achieve far beyond what the ordinary mind can imagine. Skills, knowledge, spiritual depth, and influence all multiply at an exponential rate. You may notice that projects you once thought impossible now seem natural. Responsibilities increase effortlessly, and wisdom unfolds as if it were breathed directly from the heavens. Dangerous anointing is not static. It is dynamic, ever-expanding, and designed to outpace every expectation of human limitation. Moreover, the dangerously anointed experience a profound empathy and authority combined. They are not only vessels of power, they are vessels of transformation. God positions them to heal wounds, deliver people from oppression, and guide those who are lost into alignment with His purpose. People are drawn to their counsel because God works through them to reveal clarity, restoration, and direction. The anointing does not reside in self-interest. It radiates outward, affecting lives, communities, and generations. If you see that your presence brings clarity, hope, or courage to others, even when you least expect it, it is God using you as a beacon of power that cannot be contained. The dangerously anointed are also characterized by endurance beyond human comprehension. When trials come, they do not crumble. When enemies rise, they do not flee. When situations appear impossible, they do not despair. God has fortified them with supernatural stamina, preparing them to carry burdens, confront adversaries, and press through challenges that would overwhelm ordinary men and women. This endurance is not born of human will. It is a gift from God, a living testimony that the power flowing through them is beyond the realm of ordinary existence. If you find yourself surviving storms, emerging stronger than before, it is because God is training you, refining you, and positioning you as a force that darkness cannot defeat. You will also discover a unique audacity in your faith. Dangerous anointing emboldens the soul. It removes hesitation and fear. You begin to act decisively, to declare boldly, and to move courageously into arenas where ordinary people would shrink. This audacity is not arrogance. It is divine confidence rooted in God's promises. When He calls, you answer without question. When He directs, you obey without delay. The dangerous anointing removes doubt because it immerses the spirit in certainty. Certainty that God is with you, that His hand guides every step, and that your destiny cannot be thwarted by human opposition. And yet, perhaps the most profound mark of dangerous anointing is intimacy with God. You will find yourself unable to settle for mere rituals or empty practices. Your spirit seeks His presence relentlessly. You hear His voice when others cannot, sense His guidance when the world seems silent, and experience His power in ways that defy human explanation. This intimacy is the foundation of all dangerous anointing. It is the source from which every manifestation, every miracle, and every victory flows. If your life is marked by a deep, unshakable connection to God, if you feel His presence moving within you constantly, know this: your anointing is not ordinary, and your influence is destined to leave an eternal mark. The dangerously anointed are living signs of God's authority. Their lives demonstrate what happens when mortal vessels are empowered with immortal purpose. They carry divine strategy, unstoppable faith, and spiritual insight that transcends human limitations. Every encounter, every challenge, every victory becomes a declaration of His power through them. The world may misunderstand, opposition may arise, and the road may seem treacherous, but these are not obstacles. They are confirmations that God has placed something extraordinary in your hands. If you are experiencing these signs, then you are walking in dangerous anointing, and it is time to embrace the authority, responsibility, and destiny that God has set before you. When God places a dangerous anointing upon your life, He does not simply hand you power to be admired or feared. He equips you to fulfill a purpose that will shake the very pillars of this world. The anointing is never passive. It demands movement, action, and obedience. You will begin to feel a restlessness in your spirit, an uncontainable urgency to accomplish the assignments He has written upon your life. This restlessness is not anxiety. It is divine propulsion. It is God stirring your soul to rise, to advance, and to break the limitations that humanity imposes. The dangerously anointed do not wait for permission. They move with the certainty that God's hand is guiding them, that His wisdom is shaping them, and that His power flows unhindered through their obedience. You may find that ordinary solutions no longer satisfy you. What once seemed sufficient now appears inadequate because God is elevating your vision, expanding your capacity, and enlarging your influence. He will position you in circumstances that demand supernatural insight, divine strategy, and unwavering courage. You may encounter people who doubt, mock, or oppose you, but their resistance is merely the stage upon which your anointing will shine. Every difficulty becomes a platform for God to demonstrate that He is in control and that the power flowing through you is not human, it is divine. If you notice that no earthly solution can overcome your challenges, yet breakthroughs occur in ways beyond explanation, it is because you are dangerously anointed. God is moving through you to accomplish what others deem impossible. A dangerous anointing also manifests through divine favor in the most unexpected ways. Doors open when they should be locked, opportunities arise when none exist, and resources appear at the exact moment they are needed. The world may call it luck or coincidence, but you know better. This is the fingerprint of God upon your life. It is His way of affirming that you are walking in alignment with His plan, that your obedience is yielding results, and that His power is being demonstrated through your actions. You are no longer bound by limitation, for God's favor is a force that reshapes circumstances and elevates those He has anointed. The dangerously anointed are also unmistakably fearless in the face of opposition. Fear cannot linger near the one upon whom God has placed His power. The enemy may rise, circumstances may threaten, and people may plot, but your spirit remains anchored in the authority of God. You are not immune to struggle, but your struggle is different. You endure, you rise, and you conquer because the anointing within you is unstoppable. This fearlessness is not born of pride. It is a divine certainty that God is with you, that His plan cannot fail, and that no human force can derail your destiny. If you notice yourself confronting challenges others would flee from, embracing situations that others avoid, and walking boldly where others hesitate, it is the mark of dangerous anointing working through you. Another sign is the acceleration of spiritual growth. The dangerously anointed do not mature at the pace of the ordinary. They grow rapidly, deepening in insight, wisdom, and spiritual authority at a rate that surpasses expectations. Trials, tests, and even betrayals become instruments of refinement, shaping you into a vessel capable of handling the power God has placed within you. You will find that your understanding of God's ways deepens, your discernment sharpens, and your influence expands with precision. Every lesson, every experience, every challenge is orchestrated to position you as a master of the spiritual realm, able to exercise authority over circumstances, people, and strongholds. You will also find that your words carry extraordinary weight. The dangerously anointed do not speak lightly. Their declarations shape reality. What you speak aligns with God's will and manifests outcomes that defy ordinary expectation. Words of encouragement heal, words of faith open doors, and words of authority dismantle darkness. This is not the power of human persuasion. It is divine power flowing through you, demonstrating that God has chosen you as a vessel to influence His creation. If your words consistently produce results beyond human explanation, know that you are walking in a dangerous anointing and the world is witnessing the supernatural through you. Your influence will begin to extend far beyond your immediate surroundings. God positions the dangerously anointed strategically, placing them in spheres where their obedience ripples across lives, communities, and nations. What you do, even in small matters, impacts countless people you may never meet. Your choices, your integrity, and your faithfulness create legacies that last long after your presence is gone. The dangerously anointed do not operate for recognition. They operate for divine impact. If you notice your actions shaping environments, transforming relationships, or inspiring movements, it is God working through your life in ways both subtle and unmistakable. You will also encounter moments where timing seems supernatural. The dangerously anointed do not operate according to human schedules. God aligns events, orchestrates encounters, and opens doors at the perfect moment, ensuring that nothing is wasted and everything fulfills its intended purpose. Opportunities arise when least expected. Solutions manifest with precise timing, and favor accelerates progress in ways that defy logic. This divine orchestration is not random. It is the mark of dangerous anointing, proof that God is actively directing your steps and demonstrating His power through your life. Intimacy with God intensifies like never before. The dangerously anointed are drawn into deeper communion with the source of their power. Their prayers carry authority, their worship resonates with the heavens, and their faith produces tangible results. Ordinary devotion no longer satisfies. You seek the presence of God with a hunger that cannot be quenched. This intimacy is the source of every manifestation of power, wisdom, and insight in your life. If you sense His presence guiding, instructing, and empowering you continually, it is the clearest evidence that God has marked you as dangerously anointed, prepared to fulfill a destiny that cannot be contained by the ordinary. You will also discover that your life begins to unsettle the status quo. God does not anoint to preserve comfort. He anoints to disrupt, to challenge, and to transform. The dangerously anointed stir movements, shake systems, and provoke change in ways that make ordinary people uncomfortable. This is not rebellion for the sake of rebellion. It is divine purpose breaking through barriers to manifest God's will. If you feel tension arise wherever you move, if your presence exposes hidden realities, or if your actions spark transformation others cannot explain, it is because you carry an anointing that is too powerful to ignore. Finally, the dangerously anointed recognize that every trial, every obstacle, every delay is a divine tool for elevation. Opposition is not a setback, it is preparation. Pain is not punishment, it is refinement. Waiting is not weakness, it is alignment. God shapes the dangerously anointed through experiences that challenge, refine, and sharpen their spirit. The world may see only struggle, but the spiritually awakened see opportunity. Every circumstance is a stepping stone toward a destiny that only God can orchestrate. If you are experiencing relentless refinement, take it as confirmation that you are dangerously anointed, being ready to unleash a level of power, influence, and purpose that will leave an eternal mark. Now, hear me clearly. The signs of dangerous anointing are not meant to intimidate you. They are meant to awaken you. They are proof that God has placed a force within your spirit that cannot be contained, that cannot be suppressed, and that cannot be ignored. You are not here to live a small life, to follow the path of least resistance, or to settle for mediocrity. You are here to rise, to advance, to influence, and to demonstrate the unstoppable power of God through your obedience. Every sign we have spoken about, the opposition that seeks to slow you, the divine favor that accelerates you, the supernatural discernment, the power in your words, the intensity of your vision, is a declaration God has chosen you for greatness, and His power flows through you like a river that will not be dammed. Understand this, beloved. Dangerous anointing carries responsibility. God does not place power in a vessel to remain idle. He does not give insight to remain silent. He does not grant authority to sit in comfort while the world suffers. If you are experiencing these signs, it is a call to action. You are equipped not for ordinary tasks, but for extraordinary assignments. You are prepared not for small victories, but for monumental breakthroughs. You are chosen not for fleeting moments, but for a lifetime of impact that will echo beyond what eyes can see or minds can comprehend. The anointing within you is a living testimony, a spiritual weapon, and a divine mandate. You are here to fulfill the purposes of God, and nothing, no opposition, no delay, no limitation can stop what He has begun in you. Every struggle you endure is a preparation for your rise. Every challenge is a step into your authority. Every opposition is a test of your obedience and a reminder that your destiny cannot be thwarted. God is shaping you, refining you, and positioning you to become a vessel of His power in a way that will leave the world in awe. Dangerous anointing is not for the faint-hearted. It is for the faithful, the obedient, and the relentless. If you hear this message, if your spirit resonates with these words, then know this: God is speaking directly to you, calling you to step fully into your power, to walk boldly in your purpose, and to embrace the unstoppable authority that flows from His presence within you. Do not fear the intensity of what you carry. Do not doubt the weight of your influence. Do not shrink from the opposition or the responsibility. Dangerous anointing is a gift, a weapon, and a force for transformation. It is the divine flame that burns in your soul, the invisible authority that moves nations, and the supernatural power that will leave a legacy of change, hope, and victory. The world may not understand it, the doubters may resist it, the enemy may confront it, but the one who is dangerously anointed, who walks in alignment with God, is unstoppable. You are called to rise, you are called to conquer, you are called to manifest God's power in ways that no human can contain. Remember this: every sign you experience, every gift, every insight, every divine favor, every opposition, and every victory is a declaration of God's power flowing through you. Dangerous anointing is not a temporary fire. It is a permanent flame that shapes your destiny, empowers your life, and influences the world. It is a call to rise above fear, to walk in authority, and to operate fully in the supernatural realm that God has prepared for you. If you embrace this calling, if you obey the voice of God within, then nothing, no challenge, no delay, no human force can stop the manifestation of your destiny. Stand firm. Move boldly, speak with authority, act with courage, trusting God's power and timing. Let your life become a living testimony of what it means to be dangerously anointed. Let every step, every word, every action reflect the unstoppable force within you. The world will watch, the enemy will tremble, and God will be glorified through a life that refuses to be ordinary. A life that refuses to be contained. A life that walks fully, fearlessly, and powerfully in the dangerous anointing He has placed within you. Rise, for your time is now. Your anointing is real. Your power is unstoppable. Your destiny is divine. The force of God flows through you and nothing can stop it. Step into it, embrace it, and let the world witness the unstoppable, dangerous, and glorious manifestation of God's power through your life.